Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning in to Times Now. The show's called Breaking Ground and I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. As always, we begin with our top 5 questions on the day's biggest story so far, and this has to be no relief coming in for Arvind Kejriwal. He will continue to remain in the Tihar jail. Do remember, in very swift developments ever since he got bail yesterday by the Rouse Avenue Court, the Enforcement Directorate earlier has moved the High Court. We've seen some lengthy, detailed arguments on whether that bail was in the right spirit or not. And we do know now that for the moment, the High Court has decided to reserve the order. Let's quickly bring up the questions for you. And we'll be looking at what happens to Arvind Kejriwal from here on. His bail order for the moment has been paused. What happens next? He continues to remain in jail. What does that mean? When is an order expected? This brings us to our next question. Big blow to Arvind Kejriwal right now in court. Will he get absolutely any relief with the kind of arguments that, remember, have been made from both the prosecution and the defense here? The next question that we'll bring up on our screens, as we'll be looking at Arvind Kejriwal, the road ahead and the future of the Aam Aadmi Party, is also about what happens next. Do remember, we've heard both the Enforcement Directorate and Abhishek Manu Singhvi appearing for Arvind Kejriwal in the court. Totally perverse order is what the Enforcement Directorate had to say about the Rouse Avenue Court order earlier, punching holes in their theory. Will Arvind Kejriwal's bail be cancelled? Will the agency be able to provide enough evidence to say that his bail will be cancelled? We'll get to know in the next few days. The ED could not establish any money trail. This is the larger argument that has been made by Arvind Kejriwal's counsel in the court. But what really is the truth? Is there a money trail that possibly could be established because the proceeds of crime have gone into Arvind Kejriwal? This is the big allegation that has been made by not just the BJP, politically, by even the Enforcement Directorate. They've gone ahead to call Arvind Kejriwal, ladies and gentlemen, the kingpin in the entire case. So we'll have to find out what happens to Arvind Kejriwal from here on and whether the future of the Aam Aadmi Party is all set to look bleak. Let's quickly now put our focus on what has happened so far, as we'll be looking at just a day after Arvind Kejriwal, remember, is granted bail by the Rouse Avenue Court. You've seen significant developments in the entire case because the Enforcement Directorate then quickly moves the Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court says we are listening into the entire matter. Until then, Arvind Kejriwal does not step out of Tihar. And we've seen all these arguments going back and fro, with the Enforcement Directorate saying the order was perverse. Then even Abhishek Manu Singhvi saying that there is no money trail. He cited all the arguments that have been made in the Rouse Avenue Court. But let's quickly understand what happens from here on and what has happened in the court so far. Bhavtosh is joining us live right now on top of this edition of the news. Bhavtosh, is this almost a dead end for Arvind Kejriwal? Is there a money trail or not? All these are questions that have been discussed, debated. Even Abhishek Manu Singhvi said that he's not a terrorist. Stop treating him like one.
Well, as far as the trial court is concerned, the trial court has said that there is no money trail. The Enforcement Directorate case is the Enforcement Directorate has very artistically made their case. They have picked up certain statements from certain individuals. They have made accused approver only to make a case against Arvind Kejriwal. In fact, a very dramatic development happened in the High Court, from where we are reporting exactly at 10:30 a.m. Top government lawyers came and they said that Arvind Kejriwal should not be released on bail. Then for nearly 7 hours, the arguments happened. The Delhi High Court has now put a stay on the trial court order, saying that in next 2 or 3 days, order will be given. That means Arvind Kejriwal will not be released on bail, at least today and over a weekend. What happened today was that Additional Solicitor General, in a way, castigated or said that the trial court did not hear him. He said that there was an attempt by the trial court to virtually shut him up. He said that within 4 to 6 hours he was asked to complete his arguments, and that led to Enforcement Directorate not presenting its side of the argument. ED has from from beginning this morning had said that within a few hours they had to complete his argument. That was one of the reasons why they could not complete their in fact their arguments
I
in
am
this
just
case,
interrupting you here because I want to play out the first response that has come in from the ASG on the case, Bhavtosh. Then we carry forward this conversation.
सुनवाई बात में
और स्टे पर ऑर्डर कब आएगा सर?
वो 2-4 दिन में आना चाहिए। ठीक है, थैंक यू।
सर ये नहीं है सर, एक
राजू सर एक छोटा सा सिंगल आईडी प्लीज सर, प्लीज
एक सर सिंगल आईडी सर, प्लीज सर, टू लाइन सिंगल आईडी नो प्लीज सर।
सुनो, यस, आज कोर्ट में हम
So you've heard that very, very brief response that has come in from the ASG Bhavtosh. He was asked, when is the order expected? And he says maybe in the next 2-3 days. But till then, ladies and gentlemen, the real truth is that the troubles continue to mount for Arvind Kejriwal. The same party that had its genesis in the anti-corruption movement, could this become the biggest reason for its downfall? Again, this is something that has been discussed in the political corridors. What have been the responses from the Aam Aadmi Party so far? I'm told Sunita Kejriwal has again linked all this to say that there is quote-unquote dictatorship in the country, and so does Saurabh Bharadwaj. Let's quickly listen in to what they have to say.
ऐसा कभी सुना नहीं। लोअर कोर्ट के बेल का ऑर्डर अभी अपलोड ही नहीं हुआ, हमें ही नहीं मिला, किसी को मिला ही नहीं। जब ऑर्डर ही नहीं आया तो हाई कोर्ट किस चीज पे सुनवाई कर रहा है? क्या लेके ईडी हाई कोर्ट पहुंच गया और क्या सुन के हाई कोर्ट कह रहा है कि हम इसको सुनेंगे? अभी तो ऑर्डर ही नहीं आया, वे सुन क्या रहे हैं? ईडी चैलेंज किस चीज को कर रहा है? ये तो बड़ी अजीब सी बात है, कभी नहीं सुना देश में। पूरी तरीके से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की केंद्र सरकार इसको निजी दुश्मनी की तरह ले रही है। इस तरीके से एजेंसीज नहीं काम करती जिस तरह से हो रहा है।
अभी कल ही आपके मुख्यमंत्री को बेल मिली, अभी सुबह ऑर्डर अपलोड होना था, ऑर्डर अपलोड नहीं हुआ और ईडी हाई कोर्ट पहुंच गई ऑर्डर को स्टे करवाने के लिए। इतना ये तो ऐसे हो गया अरविंद केजरीवाल इज द मोस्ट वांटेड टेररिस्ट ऑफ इंडिया। देश में तानाशाही इतनी हद पार कर रही है कि ईडी किसी को लिबर्टी भी नहीं देने के, मुख्यमंत्री के अगेंस्ट वो स्टे के लिए चली जाती है। अभी हाई कोर्ट में फैसला आना बाकी है, आशा करते हैं कि हाई कोर्ट न्याय करेगा।
We're right now being joined by BJP Member of Parliament Basuri Swaraj. Ma'am, finally the order from the High Court has come out. Court has clearly stated that they will dictate their order in next 2-3 days. Until then, they have put a stay on the order by the lower court that was given regarding the bail of Arvind Kejriwal. How do you see this?
The matter is sub judice, and therefore I would not like to comment on it in detail. However, I will say that yes, the Honourable High Court, after a detailed hearing today, has stopped the operation or put a stay on the operation of the impugned order, which was the Rouse Avenue order yesterday, granting the Honourable Chief Minister of Delhi, Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, bail. And the order regarding interim stay as well as relief of whether he should, whether the legality or the veracity of the impugned order, which is being tested by the Honourable High Court, that order has been reserved. I would say that, as I said, this is a sub judice matter, so I would not like to comment on it. But I would definitely like to add that as far as the Honourable Chief Minister, Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, is concerned, he's definitely lost in the court of the people's opinion. The recent Lok Sabha elections show that the Delhi has unequivocally chosen Bharatiya Janata Party across all 7 Lok Sabha seats. And if you remember, the campaign of the Honourable Chief Minister was Jail ka jawab aapki vote se. Clearly, the people of Delhi have voted in favour of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and this shows that any charade of his, the Delhi people have not fallen for it.
One question that we would like to ask is that since the order came out yesterday, we have seen how Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party and all their leaders stated that this is truth has prevailed, Satyamev Jayate. Today, Sunita Kejriwal also stated that Arvind Kejriwal is being treated like he's a terrorist. So they saw the order from the lower court of the bail as a win for them, and they attacked BJP. How do you respond to what the attack has been coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party?
It is, it's a penchant of the Aam Aadmi Party to indulge in hyperbole and a lot of emotional rhetoric. I would not want to respond to that, but I will definitely say that even if bail is granted to the Honorable Chief Minister Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, it is merely a legality. It does not show that he has been acquitted from the liquor scam. In fact, if you see the judgment of the Honorable High Court, which is currently prevailing and operates in the legal realm right now, it shows that the arrest of the Honorable Chief Minister was legal, and that judgment unequivocally, categorically states that the Honorable CM of Delhi, Shri Kejriwal, had a personal role in taking kickbacks worth crores of rupees in the Liquorgate scam.
Thank you for speaking to us. So that was the first reaction coming in from BJP Member of Parliament-elect Vasavi Swaraj on what has transpired today in the court. With video journalist Pradeep Mohit Bhatt for time.
All right, so that is just again a very, very significant charge that is being leveled by the BJP that says Arvind Kejriwal here is the kingpin. He is the real architect of the Delhi excise policy scam. Now, does the evidence really point towards that? But remember, relief to setback in the last 24 hours. Hakeem Rizwan Elahi is a political analyst. He leans towards the Aam Aadmi Party. Hakeem, that is really the story of the Aam Aadmi Party. People will say you started celebrating too soon in spite of the very glaring evidences. In front of everyone, Dr. Nikul Patel is leader of the Congress joining us, and Harish Khurana ji is the BJP spokesperson with us. Let's first up ask Hakeem his very first response to what has happened in the last 24 hours, Hakeem.
No, ED has been talking about this since years now, but they are not able to establish any kind of link to Vijay Nair, which has been the main accused in the liquor policy gate, or the kind of things that they have been saying that there is a link to Goa funding during the elections, but nothing has been established so far. And this is the result of it. That's why the Rouse Avenue Court has granted the bail to Arvind Kejriwal ji, because if you look at the precedents that they have given in this judgment, they have clearly stated that ED has not been able to establish any kind of evidence,
but
or they have not been able to show any kind of proof.
That is what happened yesterday. Now today you have a superior court looking at everything.
Definitely,
if you believe in the judiciary of the country, you will say that you will go by whatever the courts decide.
We have come this far.
Okay.
And this bubble is going to burst very soon.
Okay, you say the bubble will burst. Harish Khurana ji, he says the bubble will burst. बहुत जल्दी सारा दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा.
Dipti, first of all, hello to you and to all your viewers. I was listening to Hakim, and he has already passed the judgment that nothing has been found, and Vijay Nair, no connection between Vijay Nair and anybody else. He's already passed the judgment. He's a judge today, and he has passed the judgment. So, according to him now, the Vijay Nair, who is not getting the bail from the honorable courts, can be relieved, or Manish Sisodia can get relieved since last 1.5 years in jail. I'm not going to do that, because the matter right now, what we're discussing right now is Arvind Kejriwal. The matter is actually a subjudice. We can't comment more on that, but I want to point out a double standard of Aam Aadmi Party. Yesterday they got the bail from the lower court, and what they celebrated, Satyamev Jayate, as if they were celebrating that Arvind Kejriwal has been acquitted and nothing has been found. So it's just a bail. They are saying we have won the case and Satyamev Jayate. Now today, when the same courts, which is the superior courts, has reserved, now they have reserved the order, but they have stayed the proceeding of the lower court. What they are saying, ये तो आम आदमी ED की साजिश है. Is ED has given you the bail, or ED has stayed you the bail? No. We should understand honorable courts have given you the bail or stayed the bail. We should understand that. We should respect what the court says.
Okay, let's get the first response from Nikul also, and then we'll reopen this, for counters and also for the thread of the arguments, Nikul, that has been made so far. But Nikul, what is your compulsion that you really need to bat for an Arvind Kejriwal? There are serious charges of corruption against Arvind Kejriwal. He ate away all your vote bank in Delhi and then in Punjab. Will you still continue to back him?
See, backing what I would like to convey is that charges are there is still not being proved. As my Bharatiya Janata Party friend rightly told that.
Do you think Arvind Kejriwal is innocent? I'll make it simpler for you. Do you think Arvind Kejriwal is innocent?
No, you don't. You don't jump into your conclusion, because I would like to say that unless and until no charges are being proved or someone is acquitted, you cannot give your judgment. Right. So that is why I would say that my Bharatiya Janata Party person was telling, similarly I am saying the same thing. Right now the ED had tried to prove everything with the evidence, and it's finding that there is someone who is being charged with this kind of corruptions. Now based on that he was taken to the jail. Now the lower court had found that there is something, no substance, and he must be granted bail. So there is a definitive movement of celebration.
I hate to interrupt this bubble, but Harish Khurana ji and Hakim would also remember there's a leader called Ajay Makan. Do you know his connection to the Delhi liquor policy scam, Nikul? This is how times change. Times change, stands change, but people remember a lot of this, and I'm sure we have a lot to talk about this, gentlemen. Just allow me a quick break. On the other side, we'll also get in our colleague Bhavtosh live, who's joining us from the court, and we'll also find out what happens to our from here on. Will Arvind Kejriwal, if he gets no relief, can he continue to be the Chief Minister? What happens to Sunita Kejriwal? Don't forget, Atishi is already sitting on a satyagrah because she cannot find any other solution to the Delhi water crisis. So, ladies and gentlemen, Arvind Kejriwal gets no relief from the High Court. He will continue to remain in the Tihar jail. We are expecting an order only in the next 2 to 3 days. But what happens to the Aam Aadmi Party from here on? How serious are these charges that we've been discussing? We continue to have Harish Khurana ji of the BJP, Hakim Rizwan Elahi, who's a political analyst, and Dr. Nikul Patel of the Congress. And gentlemen, with your permission, I quickly want to get in a word with our colleague Bhavtosh, who's also been tracking this story. Bhavtosh, the only option now for the Aam Aadmi Party perhaps is to approach a higher court, that is the Supreme Court. Could that happen in the next few hours, or they will wait now to say what the High Court has to say?
Well, obviously, whatever order is given by the High Court, the other side will obviously go to the Supreme Court. The High Court has said that the High Court will give an order as soon as possible. The High Court has said, Justice Jain has also said that he will try to give an order in next 2 or 3 days, Saturday, Sunday being a holiday. So one can expect that the order will be coming either on Monday or Tuesday or early next week. So all eyes on the High Court. But as far as the case is concerned, one of the important points that was raised by Kejriwal's counsel, Mr. Chaudhary, was that Arvind Kejriwal is not a terrorist, to which Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju said that he was not given time to present his side of the case. That's what the Enforcement Directorate is saying, that since this case is so high profile, then they should have been given time, they should have been given to present all the papers in the court, but that did not happen. Back to you.
All right, Bhavtosh, for the moment, thank you so much for getting us up to speed with what has happened in the court so far. So, Hakim, how would you respond to what you've just heard so far? Your options are limited. You know, either you believe in the courts of the country or you don't. You can't hail democracy if the Rouse Avenue court believes that Kejriwal should get bail. You can't say we are living in a dictatorship if, you know, tomorrow or whenever the High Court says the bail is cancelled. What is your stand?
No, ma'am, we believe in the judiciary. And as I say, that this bubble is going to burst. And what Bharatiya Janata Party has been doing since so long, they have got the result of it in the previous Lok Sabha elections. I mean, in this Lok Sabha elections. So eventually, these things are going to come out.
What about the Delhi campaign, Hakim? We'll ask Harish Khurana ji to respond to that charge. But what about what happened in Delhi? Jail ka jawab vote se do. This is the campaign that Arvind Kejriwal launched, right, in Delhi?
Yes, definitely. And see, I have been telling you that. No, लोगों ने जवाब नहीं दिया, ma'am. We have been seeing how Bharatiya Janata Party has been setting the narrative, how Bharatiya Janata Party has used all kind of mechanisms and establishments in India. That's how they have got 240 seats. Otherwise, they wouldn't have got without manipulation.
Harish, this is a serious charge. This is a serious charge, and somewhere, you know, you will have to accept the fact that there are questions being raised on how the BJP operates through its B team, as the opposition alleges, the ED and the CBI.
See, we should understand ED is an independent agency.
We don't have any hold on that. That's a fact. And you remember, these people, this so-called Indie coalition went to the court. Honorable Supreme Court had said about what, not about ED, what reply they have given, and what judgment was being given on by the Supreme Court on ED. So my point is, this is not Congress Tera. That when CBI is a tota, this is not that kind of one. I would like to comment on Hakim also what he was saying. You have been routed in Delhi, boss.
And,
all 7 seats you have lost.
And the judgment
in
was
spite of having a Gadabandhan with the coalition with your alliance, so-called Congress alliance.
But Harish ji, a lot of people are asking this, that do you believe Rahul Gandhi is your bigger enemy or Arvind Kejriwal? Who are you really scared of?
See, we are not scared of any enemies. Point number one. Both of we are not afraid of any either Rahul Gandhi or Kejriwal. We have shown in this election.
They should be scared of Modi ji and Amit Shah ji.
Let me complete. Hakim, let me complete. Let me complete,
yes.
boss.
Yes, Harish ji.
So we are not afraid of anyone. For both of us are our serious rivals, and we perform what we have done in the past.
Okay.
People have voted for us. In Delhi, we won all 7 seats. In spite of the campaign that jail ka jawab vote se, they have lost it. So people have given their word that we are not going to accept what you are saying. And we also feel, Delhi people also feel that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin of this whole liquor scam.
Okay, Harish ji says that Delhi ki Janta believes that Arvind Kejriwal is the kingpin of the scam. I do not know. But, Nicole, before you respond to this, just allow me a moment. I'm told our colleague Ramya is also joining us on the phone line, and he's been inside the court. Even as, all this argument was happening, he's joining us live. Ramya, why don't you give us a gist of all the arguments that have been made so far by both the prosecution and the defense? What has been the biggest news point?
Absolutely, the biggest news point is that the Enforcement Directorate had assailed the order passed by the trial court. They had stated that we were not even heard. No proper time was given to us, despite telling the court that 15 minutes won't be much for us. We have enough material to place. We have many things to show. The time was not given. The judge was in somehow a hurry to pass on the order. The judge had repeatedly stated that I will not reserve the order. I will hear the arguments and I will directly pass the order. So these were the grounds which were taken before the Delhi High Court. Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju again and again stated today that the order is perverse, not on one count but on many counts. They stated that the wrong date was mentioned in the order. Just by listening to the Arvind Kejriwal's legal team, the judge mentioned the wrong date. She stated in the order that I am not going through the documents because these documents are very, very bulky. On the other hand, the order notes that the documents which have been submitted by both the sides are irrelevant. Now, the Additional Solicitor General S.V. Raju stated this, that at one point of time, the judge is stating that I'm not going through the documents. On the other hand, she is stating that the documents are irrelevant. So she has to decide one thing, how without considering the documents, she has come to the conclusions that these documents are irrelevant. So on multiple grounds, the trial court order was assailed, and finally the order has been reserved now on the stay application. Meanwhile, a stay has been granted on the release order passed by the trial court.
Absolutely. So, Ramya, bringing forward the many contradictions that the ED is citing to buttress their entire claim. Ramya, for the moment, thank you so much for keeping us ahead on all those breaking developments. Nicole, now you can make your point, and ultimately you will have to choose. You will have to choose whether you want to, talk about people, Garib ka Kalyan, Garib ka Hit, or you're okay with, these very, very serious allegations, Nicole, that are being made against Arvind Kejriwal. And not just him, Satyendra Jain, Manish Sisodia, tons of these allegations, Nicole.
Firstly, I would say that ED kiska tota hai, wo to last 10 years we have seen that 95% cases has been posed for against the opposition.
But you went to the court, na Nicole. With that argument, you went to the court.
Listen me, I'm just
over. Let's be very
that
serious.
tota word was given by that particular BJP guy. I'm replying to it, and now I come to the
caged
Kejriwal.
parrot भी याद होगा ना Nicole आपको? Caged parrot भी याद होगा?
ED किसका तोता है वो नहीं पता है अभी किसको. ये बोल रहे हैं कि ईडी सीआईडी किसकी आईबी किसका तोता था वो बोल रहे थे. अभी मैं यहाँ पे उनको रिप्लाई दे रहा हूँ. बराबर है. अभी हम कॉन्वर्सेशन कर रहे हैं. बीजेपी trying to set the narrative, that will not happen. Now, when it comes to a court, whenever anyone is acquitted and if anybody is found guilty, definitely it has to go to the jail. Now, court is going to decide who is going to jail and who is going to come out. Now, whenever any trial court proceedings are going on, and if somebody
do you stand with Arvind Kejriwal? Yes or no? Do you stand with Arvind Kejriwal?
ED is not able to find substantive matter in the case of Arvind Kejriwal about the money trail, and that is why lower court had must grant it. Now it is not satisfied with the thing. They may approach the High Court, and High Court will give it some verdict. The time is the only solution that for it. You cannot come to the judgment that you are going to be acquitted, or we are going to be acquitted, or we are.
Okay, I think Nikul Harish is being very cautious. He's being very cautious right now because he knows the game can play either way, and clearly this is a Congress that is, you know, buoyant with the kind of performance it has seen. Hakeem, you will have to look at what happens to the Aam Aadmi Party from here on. I thank Harish ji, Hakeem and Nikul Patel for joining.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.